I'm really quite happy and humbled to be sitting here with you at the close on Monday afternoon as we take a look at one of the stocks which we spoke about over the weekend in that pro analysis workshop. Here we are. This is the chart of Netflix. And today Netflix has been one of the big movers in an otherwise quite flat market. You can see right here on Netflix, it moved up $15.35 during today's trading session. Pretty decent volume behind the move, but what is most important about this is that the people in that pro class made a lot of money trading this particular stock. Whether it was actual stock or options, it has done exceptionally well up until the close on Monday afternoon. You can see the closing price here at $589.95. We'll just call that $590. And we have an entry price here at about $581.90. So we'll call that $582. At the moment, we've got a very understated $8 of profit on this particular Netflix swing trade. If you are in this, congratulations, you deserve it based on the effort you're putting into in the way of understanding and unlocking the underlying analysis which goes into technical swing trading. So I'm very proud and happy and humbled on your behalf to let you know, or at least know otherwise, that you are in this trade and you're doing fantastically well. You've got decisions to make, however, where do you put your stop? At the moment, it can go no higher than the low of today's candle. If I just bring out my drawing tool for you, you can see right here, this is really going to come in at about 573 at the moment. Take as much emotion out of this trade as possible and just let it do its thing over Tuesday's trading session. If you see a gap up and continue, you can potentially take some profit off the table if you're happy with it. I do believe, $8 of intrinsic value on a 0.7 delta, really works out to be quite a nice amount of profit. Maybe $500 per call option contract, which you entered into on this particular swing trade. So a great little trade on the Netflix. What is most interesting also is that if you're not in that pro analysis class, or if you are in the class and you're looking for another potential trade, remember how I started the class this weekend. Instead of starting the usual way, which I didn't. And this is an indication of another trade which is set to move later in the week if in fact you missed the Netflix trade. I hope you took the hint for what it's worth. Go back and have a look at that pro analysis class over the weekend, because its brother is set to make a very similar move if you haven't already taken the Netflix trade and done very well for yourself this week, or at least as at the close on Monday afternoon. Outside of that, however, what I'll provide you with a quick market update. You can see just here, we have another little inside day on the Dow Jones. Let me zoom in so you can see this in more detail. We are still battling with this resistance level. We're yet to break above it. We got some form of indication, at least, that on Friday we did see a big move to the upside. It was the biggest move, I think, in over 2 months, a one-day move, which was good to see. Again, this could set up to be a little stair-step pattern. We'll soon see if this holds this level at least above 18,050. It should act as strong support at least to push higher and finally break above this resistance level, which has really been a pain in the backside for about 2.5 months right now. So that's really the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We're not net short, we're not net long. We're quite neutral at the moment. It really transcends and moves into the S&P 500 also. You can see a similar type of inside day candle. Not reading too much into it, down 10 points on the daily. Right at this resistance level once again. It isn't really a strong reversal signal. These inside days holding within or above the half day, long day candle right here are more so a slowdown type of candle rather than any form of a reversal or immediate reversal type of candlestick. It can certainly happen, but it's really just saying, look, we're slowing down. We may build some more buying pressure up at around these levels, and that could really be the force which drives it above these old resistance levels moving forward. Only time will tell. We'll have a look as the trades and the markets develop. And finally, we have the NASDAQ here as well. We have got the second spinning top candle after Friday's gap up. We were down 10 points on the daily, but really you can just see that we moved quite sideways. And it was really a non-eventful day on the NASDAQ outside of that really great Netflix trade, which I have already referenced. If I just take off some of the annotations, actually, I'll go into the Baidu trade because I know a lot of people are in this Baidu trade as well. So I will reference this in this particular video. We had an entry here at 192.65. This was going back to Wednesday's trading session last week. Had two little, nothing day types of moves, low volume behind it. Today we saw a nice little move to the downside. We were down $2.70 and we have closed once again below our initial entry. I spoke about my initial thoughts on this particular stock being a bear flag, and we might need to endure a little push higher. We saw a little wick intraday on today's candle session during Monday's trading session, but you can see it failing and pushing back down below that critical level. So that's a really nice indication that Baidu is still weak at this level. We are below a support line, and maybe this is the breakout of the bear flag, which we spoke about over the weekend. Let me just take off some annotations. And I'll quickly reference some other stocks. Apple, again, non-eventful, moving sideways. It's range-bound. Forget about it. Amazon, more or less the exact same thing. You can see that we're just holding above this gap. We didn't fill the whole gap, but we had a very nice short trade in the most recent week at least, and we're not taking the upside trade at the moment. For those people out there who did take an upside trade, which I told my people and my friends and traders in that class not to, you're now sitting with an upper week on this potential shooting star, and you might be a little bit hesitant of what is around the corner for Amazon. It's very neutral. It can still push higher. It can break down. It's not really a trade that you want to be left in at the close on Monday, especially with this type of candlestick right here. Outside of that, we've got Boeing Airlines. It's pulling back up into that resistance box, which we've spoke about over the weekend. That trade is brewing on Boeing Airlines. It's not there yet, but it is very close to actually triggering. Caterpillar today has triggered, so please place your stops in at the moment. Place it below about $86.70. It is a spinning top candle, nice volume behind it. Let's just monitor how Caterpillar moves. Very neutral. Same with a few of those other stocks in that analysis class. CVX, is also breaking down below that 108.02. This was a trade also going back to Tuesday last week when we initially got into it. It's profitable, but only slightly. Here we are at 107.36. And we're looking for lower lows. We're ultimately looking for targets down at 101. Have a look at the analysis in that class. Great analysis. These things just take a little bit of time, as they do each and every week, to work out. Well, I've pushed the wrong button. What I wanted to do was simply take off my annotations for one more time. Let me just do that very quickly for you. Hide annotations. Facebook today, very similar. You can see we've spoken about a similar type of candlestick pattern to one I've already referenced with Baidu. Pay attention to it. It's very bearish. Not too optimistic on Facebook, intermediate or short term. It may have a very, very slight bounce, but I mean, it's just going to be more so the minor opportunity to reshort that. Again, I've clarified and went over that in great detail in Pro. So what I'll do right now, at least on this Monday afternoon, is call it a day. Again, a very great trade on Netflix, and I'm very happy for the people in that class who did very well for themselves today. Let the trade shake out. Do not become emotionally attached to stocks or trades or anything like that. This is the market. Anything can happen. But it's great. It's obviously great when we get these immediate breakouts which resolve themselves in the direction which we want. And we're sitting here with about $8 of profit of intrinsic value on each option call contract which we entered into during Monday's trading session. So I'll end it there, friends and traders right around the world. If you have any questions, email me, success@pivotpoint-trading.com. I've got a few calls to make right now to a few of the students in that class, so I need to end this video immediately. And I'll probably see you Wednesday afternoon. Until then, have a look at the Pro class if you're not in it. And for the Proers, a lot of great trades setting up still, as we move further into this week. I think a lot more are actually going to trigger this week. All the best right around the world. Have a great afternoon. Goodbye.